What you are going now to see, very interesting, significant table. As you see in this table, many verses, all are related. And they appear in the book of Numbers, in part of chapter 29, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 verses in chapter 29, and in chapter 30, you have 17 verses, and then you have 3 verses in 31. No, how many together? 20 plus. So, frightening. So many verses, and all are connected, and they appear about 22 verses. So, far away from being coincidence, definitely. So, let us see what you have in this table. Definitely has to do with the news, which I did before. Russia will invade Ukraine. But before looking on this table properly, let us see very important lectures. You have to hear it, not to see, but the place to see it is Torah Thinking Audio, and this is weekly Ashkofet Shiur 87. The world in turmoil audio, and this is Rabbi Kassin analyzing beautifully the invasion of the Russian into Ukraine. Lot of deep ideas based on Medrash, some Kabbalah, but beautifully really give us a picture of this situation with this preparation to Messiah. Often that Purim will have the Messiah already. But we need to do Shuvah, to repent, to keep the Sabbath. No. But what is interesting that if you listen to his talk properly, so in one of the parts of this talk, he says that what is happening to Ukraine, to the Russian, is part of the great account that they have to pay for what they did to Jews. In Ukraine, anti-Semites, the time of the Nazis, killing, murdering hundreds of thousands of Jews, and the Russian, no, definitely, and they will have to pay for this. This is what the Bible says. So, this is what he mentions, that it's already part of this account that they are paying for. So you see that all of this appears in this very significant table. So, definitely will be very worthwhile to listen to the whole lecture properly and to have a picture really about what we are living now and what is really the purpose of this situation that we have. But let us see the Bible code about the situation, and as I said, all of them appears in unbelievable, when I look, only few verses, and in fact, I didn't write it, but the number of letters from letter to letter is 81. 81 is the Gematria of the first word of the 10 Commandments. Anochi, I am your Lord. Maybe this is an important teaching of what is going on now. So what we have here, so if you remember, even before the invasion, I made a table, this table, part of it, in which we have Russia will invade, Tiflosh will invade to Ukraine. Ukraine. Amazing. This is what you have, Ukraine in red. Very significant, having really the meeting of Russia and Ukraine and will invade. No, this happened. In fact, you can see that I wrote at that time threat, because it was not yet sure. It was a threat, a serious threat, but then came out, was I right? Everything happened, they invade, and we see what is going on. So what we have in this table more to teach us. So this is also, by the way, you have also Crimea. Yeah, Crimea, because it is famous that in the time when the Russian invade Crimea, so Rabbi Sternberg, descendants of the Vilna Gaon, said he brought many proofs, clearly show that the Vilna Gaon says that when Russian will invade, conquer Crimea, is a sign that we are near to the Messiah. Then he said also that when you will see Russian warship going through the Bosporus, you can already dress yourself with Shabbos clothes. But now Turkey clothes they don't allow Russian but to go through there. Look, we have to ask them to open. We want Messiah. So, interesting situation, no doubt. So what we have more here? Now the first thing, as I said, let us go step by step. You have here the threat of Russian invading Ukraine. And then what you have here more is very interesting. You have here Messiah twice, because exactly as the Vilna Gaon says it. The many others will indicate that we are now in the sabbatical year, which is the time of Messiah. In the beginning, the Talmud says in Sanhedrin 97a, wars will be, exactly this came out, right? Now we have to wait till Saturday. It means Motzei Shvi'it, on the end of the Shvi'it, we had Messiah, hoping that we'll have before, but this depends, we'll keep Shabbos, we do Tshuva. If not, we have to wait, need patience. So here you have twice Messiah, which is unbelievable. Messiah, son of David, and Messiah, son of Joseph. Interesting. Good meeting of Messiah and Messiah. Then what we have, as Rabbi Kassin said clearly, that what is going on now is a process, messianic era, which is preparation, interesting, for Messiah. Interesting. This is what we are going now. Especially discoveries of Bible code and all these things are part of it. Yeah, so here you have in Hebrew Achana, preparation for Messiah. Right, unbelievable will come also here. And then, looking more in the table, you have verses which have to do with the army, Matela Tzava, yeah, clearly indicates. Now, what is interesting in this table is the appearance of Purim. You have Purim here. Yeah, Purim. Because a lot of indications that this Purim can be termed Messiah. But again, we need the condition of the Rambam, redemption. But the Torah promises us that Jews will redeem. And who knows if this is the troubles they are going to throw. But you have Purim here, very interesting. And even you have the date of Shushan Purim. We see afterwards the full one, but you have here the 15th of Adar, Yod Ke Adar. We see later on the continuation. But it's amazing. Then, if you remember, if you follow my YouTube, so I mentioned the Kabbalists. This is what they tell me, the name of Kabbalists, that this redemption that we hope we are going to have will be exactly like the redemption of Purim. Like in Purim, we have Haman, we have Amanai today. Yeah. Like at that time, Haman wanted to kill, destroy Jewish people. Today, the same thing. You see clearly, this is why they need the bombs, they say. They say clearly that they want to destroy, to wipe out Israel because it disturbs the Mahdi, the Messiah to come. So, exactly the same thing like then, Haman wanted to kill, to destroy. The same thing today, Amanai. Yeah, now rabbis tell us that the name of people is from heaven, to know with whom we are dealing. So we have Hamanid, Hamanid Ilakamen Zetam, unbelievable. So this is why those Kabbalists told me, you will see that in the table that you have Purim, I mean you have indication to Messiah in this time, so you will see Esther, you have Esther coming here, you can see Esther here, Esther, and then you can see Cyrus, who was the king of Persia at that time, and he was this one who allowed Israel, Jews, to settle in their land. He believed in their land. Even he allowed them to build the temple. Unbelievable. This was Cyrus, Koresh. And he is called in Isaiah 45, by the way. The great Kabbalist Rabbi Cook said that Donald Trump, who also recognized Israel and Jerusalem, the Bible, he had sparks of Cyrus, is what he said. Interesting, yeah. And he come Koresh here. Cyrus will call the Messiah of God. God, in 45, chapter 45 in Isaiah, he said there about Cyrus, Meshichi. God says, my Messiah, because I recognize Israel. So he said the same thing to Trump. He was the 45th, like the chapter 45 in Isaiah. But came the Democrat, the Satan. Democrat is Gematria, like the Satan, 359. And turn over everything. And this is what you have all these troubles today. In fact, in a survey they did recently, I think more than 60% said clearly that if Donald Trump will carry on, will be the president, he will not have the problem. Putin will not invade Ukraine. As at that time, the connection between them was not a good connection. Relations, the same thing also Netanyahu, really three of them, Netanyahu and Putin and Donald Trump had really very good connection. And this is what they say. No, came the Democrats, the Satan, who are against the Torah, he allows abortion, allows homosexuality. This was brought the flood to the world. This was destruction to the world. It is known. God said, you people caused me to create embryo creatures for 40 days and to destroy them. No, I will destroy your world. Today, no, we don't have flood of water, but we have flood of corona, of plague, because this was the Medrash says that before the coming of Messiah, a big plague will occur, will be in the world. So everything is coming out. So this is what we see here. Esther and Cyrus. And Purim, definitely, yeah, often will be a Purim now. The same thing. Now, who are those evil forces today, like Iran, which comes here also? You have Iran and the Amalekites. You can see Amalek coming here. Amalek coming here. Yeah, Amalek. And those are the root of evil, yeah. Those are the root of enemies of Israel, want to destroy Israel. All over Israel, the crusade in the beginning, then the Nazis, and now Iran. All Amalekite. Amalek means Amlak, a nation who is cruel and wants to lick the Jewish blood like a dog. This is exactly what you have today. You see, terrorists and everything, right? So, this is what we have. Now, something else very interesting that Rabbi Kassin said. He said that what is going on now, that both Russian and Ukraine, they have a lot of problems. They are not simple at all. Russian thought will go very easy, but it's not. Both of them are losing people, not simple. So Kassin says this is part of the account that the Ukraine, we know, were very, very cruel to Jews, Nazis. They killed hundreds of Jews, yeah. helping the Nazis, same thing Russian also. No, they will pay for it. Meantime, they start already paying. But this was then the Rabbi Kassin said, because he says this is part of the process of Messiah. It's a messianic era we are now, yeah. So here you have amazing, you have a sentence, we say judgment and punishment. Because anti-Semite, it did not come in order, anti-Semite, but interesting, they have a good meeting of anti-Semite, okay. But you know quite well how cruel was the Ukraine helping the Nazis to kill Jews and the Russians, same thing. And unfortunately, this was because of sin. When Jews are sinning, they give strength to Samael, one of the evil angels, and the masculine, and then to the feminine. Really, this is the evil angel connected with lust, and this one connects with pride, strength. So this is Edom and Ishmael, Arabs and Edom, exactly. This in our prayers 3 times a day, when a Jew davens 3 times a day, he asks in the Amida, and the praying Amida, the 18 blessings, remove from us Lilith, remove agony and fire. But on top of this is in the Sidurim, remove from us the evil forces of Lilith and Samael, the masculine and the feminine. Unbelievable. This is the truth. So, transcending Shabbos, doing things immorality, yeah, all these men and women, all this brings those evil forces, gives strength to Amalekites, to all those who want to destroy and to kill Jews. So, comes Iran also, because Iran also had the implication with what is going today. So, as I said, unbelievable table, and in fact, in the bottom part of it is the same table. If you're Messiah, it is everything. You have more verse, you have the faith, because the purpose of all this Bible code is to strengthen our faith, because the Torah is a blueprint of creation, yeah? And as our Rabbi said, in the merit of faith, Jews were saved from Egypt. In the merit of faith, they will be saved with the exile of Ishmael, where we are today. Because Israel today, the government cannot decide anything without the Arabs, the Islamist parties. Yeah? So really in the exile of the Arabs. Then, definitely Amalek Arab Rab. We have government today against the religion. Yeah? We allow translation of Shabbos, everything. Yeah? Then, definitely this is the most important idea of the Bible culture sacrifice. Here you have also the time. This is unbelievable. You have the months we are now, the first Adar, there are 2, so we are still in the first Adar. And then you have very small skip of this year, 5782 years after creation, 2022. Unbelievable to have this next year. Definitely indicating that what is going on today is not simple at all. Then, as we said, a lot of verses to do with war. You are going to war, fighting. And then, as we said, we have Messiah. Messiah will come with Elijah together. We have Eliyahu also will come. So, the most important thing is, but is it in the Chokim Tzivah Hashem, all the laws, the status that God commanded you by Moses, you should keep, because this is a condition for having Messiah, to having redemption. So very, very significant. As I said, I very much advise, recommend, better to say, to listen to Rabbi Mendel lectures. He is expert in the Ramchal, and all his lectures about Donald Trump, unbelievable one which he gave before. But the Satan, as we said, liberal, all those people turned over. This is Satan, what we can do. they doing the most severe sins, which is abortion, homosexuality, which is one of the most severe 7 laws that Gentiles should keep. So, if Donald God will be different, no doubt. So, let us do tshuva, repent, keep the Torah, the Sabbath, and hoping that from all what is going on now, frightening, people are killed, children, it's frightening, really painful situation to see what is going on. But, no, what we can do, there is God, there is divine, there is sin and punishment also, one of the most important principles of the Torah. So important, very interesting, I think, unbelievable to think that what you see here appears in about 20, a little bit more verses in one book, Numbers. Yeah. And I said all the time that this program that you see that I'm using is Dr. Alexander Rothenberg, and he clearly said if it is minimal, if it is good meetings, and if it is in one book in a small area, you don't need statistics. You need to be common sense and interest for the truth. You know, many people, you can show them the truth, will not change. Yeah, because, you know, there is evil inclination, and the evil inclination causes a big veil that a man cannot see the truth. The same letters, evil and veil. So, let us really prepare ourselves for Purim, hoping that on Purim we'll have great joy and happiness with the redemption, with the uproot of all the evil forces of Amalek, like in the past. Like Esther, you know, the Vilna Gaon says that Esther has also to do with son of Joseph. Interesting. Yeah, because son of Joseph is anybody who helps Israel to settle, and definitely Esther is like this. So, as I said, very interesting and significant table, no doubt. And preparation for Messiah, preparation for Purim. We are living in very, very significant time, especially sabbatical. Sabbatical in the second month of Adar. It's very, very strong month. This is known. So, let us realize there is God, and God knows what He's doing. There is divine thing which is going on. And the Torah is a blueprint of creation, and everything which is happening in the Torah. You know, already Rabbeinu Bachya 800 years ago used the Bible code in his commentary to the Torah, Genesis in the beginning, and through Bible code he found the exact date of the first birth, the birth of the moon. Here one can see it in our site, in the site of Professor Aralik, torahcodes.us. There he brings all these calculations of the birth of the moon, which comes out through Torah code. 800 years ago. No, you know, Bible code is one of the keys that things are studying the Torah. So interesting and significant table, no doubt. And as I said, worthwhile listening to Rabbi Mendel Kassin lecture about the word in turmoil or turmoil. So, as I said, the interesting, significant table for our time.